Thank you for being here. Oh, Marley, you're on the beach. I love the background. That's awesome. Well, we're so thrilled that you're all here. I apologize that I was late and for the mix up for those of you who are hopping on that I messaged earlier today. But I'm very excited for tonight. This is going to be such a fun few minutes together, and I know that we're going to learn a lot, and hopefully you're going to leave feeling encouraged. I just wanted to kind of set you up and let you know what we're going to be talking about tonight. We're going to talk about some tips for maintaining your sanity, maintaining your wellness, and boosting your immunity during this crazy season. And we hope that you go away having learned something new and hopefully feeling like you have some tools to use. I don't know, did I say my name? My name's Gabi. I'm feeling a little frazzled. I apologize. I'm Gabrielle. Everyone calls me Gabi. But we are ready to rock and roll with some stories. I'm going to introduce my friends who you probably already met, but I am hosting this call with Melissa and Tori, who are two of my most favoriteest people in the whole world. And I'm going to start by passing this on to Tori, who's going to give us some really cool tips and tell us her story of wellness. So take it away, Tori.
Hey, can you guys hear me? Awesome.
Yes.
I'm just going to, all right, cool. Well, my name is Tori. Thank you so much, Gabi. I just wanted to share a little bit about my health story with you guys. It was about 4 years ago, and I had just had my second child. My daughters are 17 months apart, so I felt like I had been pregnant and nursing for forever, that cycle of things, and I just wanted my body to be mine again. Call me selfish. And so I was really looking for something that was going to give me that mama energy, because I was like, mamahood cannot be this hard. Like, this is, how do people function? And a sweet friend of mine shared something that she had that really just made a difference in her gut health. And I was like, all right, I'll try it. I mean, I'm raiding the pantry every day anyway, so let me give this a shot. And so sure enough, I did. And in 60 days, I felt like a completely different person. I had energies. I didn't have to nap when the baby napped, which means I could do laundry when you're supposed to do laundry, because they don't tell you like do laundry when the baby does laundry, because that never happens. But yeah, then by doing that and feeling better, I started to really just go, okay, so what is my house supposed to look like? You know, I have these two little people that I'm, you know, responsible for now, and I want to make sure that they're getting what they need and that they have a mama who's present and functioning and, you know, healthy. So I really started to just deep dive into research and try new things, natural solutions and things of that. And so just opened up a lot of doors for me. And so I've really grown into more natural, non-medication in the last couple of years. And it's just been great. And I've just been so fortunate to be able to do that. So speaking of overall wellness, the first thing that I want to give you before I get into the kids stuff, these are called, this is my best holistic natural immunity booster. And you probably have all these things at home already. So good news for you. First, they're called warming socks. Has anybody ever heard of them before? Give me a nod. Yes, no?
Oh.
No? Okay. So warming socks, and you can Google warming socks. You'll get a website that pops up. But my holistic naturopath gave them to me. Told me about them. Didn't give them to me. Told me about them. And what you do is you take a bowl of ice, put some water in it, and you put a pair of cold cotton socks in them. well, they'll be cold when you put them in there. And so you put the socks in there, you let them soak, and then you wring them out so they're not like, so you get all the liquid out. But they're still damp. Okay. Then put those on your feet, and then you put the wool socks, a pair of wool socks over them, and then you go to bed. Okay. What it does is it's basically mimicking a fever, because your body starts to heat up because of the cold socks, because two different temperature gauges on your body are your head and your feet. Have you ever noticed if you're wearing like a ball cap in the sun, you get hot a lot faster than if you're not? That's why. So by doing that, your feet feel the cold, so it's trying to heat up. So when your body raises a degree, what it's doing, mimicking a fever. What do fevers do? They're fighting off infections and building those antibodies and boosting your immune system. So that's my first one. And that is good for anybody. I swear by it. I've used it a ton of times since learning about it. I make my girls do it. They're like, are we wearing the cold socks again, Mom? Yes, yes, you are. Usually we only have to do it for 2 or 3 nights, and whatever bugs, totally gone. So that's my first one. But let's talk about those little kids right now. So how many people have elementary students, elementary kiddos at home? Okay, see a couple. How many have younger than elementary? Anybody preschoolers, babies? Okay. How about middle school? And how about high school? Any high schoolers? I'll pray for y'all. Okay, so you probably haven't seen your kid in 3 weeks. But anyways, okay, so I have a preschooler and a kindergartner, so I'm on that end. But what I found is that kids definitely need a routine. And by having a routine, it makes all the difference. Because they had a routine in school, right? That they're so used to on a daily basis. Hold on, I think we need to mute something there. Okay, cool. So they're so used to that routine. And then when they get home, it's like, why are summers so crazy? It's because we've lost that routine. So something that children actually need, even high schoolers, is building that routine. Even if it's something as simple as breaking it down to like, hey, this 2-hour block is free time. This 2-hour block is going to be some of that schoolwork that you need to do. This 2-hour block is lunch. For me, for what works for my kids is about an hour. Now, the other thing I want you to do about the routine for your own sanity and your own mental health is lower your expectations. Okay? So have some grace, have some fluid. Time is fluid now that we're all home, right? It is okay. So if you are a little bit behind schedule or the routine gets a little bit, that's okay. Pick it up, right? Just on the next, if it happens to be the next day, pick it up the next day. Or if it happens, we're going to pick it up after lunch, pick it up after lunch. But just make sure that you try to keep some sense of routine for them, because again, that helps their brains just function a little bit clearer and makes your life just a little bit easier. Okay, the other thing to help with kids' mindfulness is for the younger kids, there is Kids Cosmic Yoga on YouTube. Okay, this is really fun. My girls really like it. She tells stories while doing yoga. She does Disney stories. She does trolls. She does the whole gamut. I mean, she just has hours and hours and hours. So those are really great. If you have grandkids or your neighbor has kids, this is a great resource to send them. It's on YouTube. It's Kids Cosmic Yoga. My daughters love it. They love it so much. Sometimes I have to remind them that they have to actually do it because they start to sit down and watch her. And I'm like, no. Okay, just because she's acting like a mermaid in yoga, it's the story. You have to do it. That's the point. So it really makes them focus and really makes them mindful about that. And then the other thing too, schedule play dates, Zooms for your kids, even the elementary kids. I, honest to goodness, did a 15-minute Zoom with preschoolers today. I did. And it worked. And they talked to each other. You had to ask them questions. Adults kind of had to be like, and what did you do? And you had to entertain, but you did it and it worked. And they loved it. My daughter, my 5-year-old, was thrilled to see some of her friends and can't wait to do it again. So schedule those Zoom dates, even if they're 30 minutes or FaceTime, whatever, but schedule them. That way they happen. And then something that's really easy for your mindfulness is, anybody notice that the refrigerator and pantry stay open a lot more lately? Right? Yeah. Because we're all snacking throughout the day. Okay. So remind children of their school stomach. This is what I have to tell them. Okay. Would you have a snack during this time at school? No. Then okay. Then you don't need a snack right now. So we kind of set up parameters about like, hey, you're going to snack around here this time. We'll have lunch. We'll have that afternoon snack. And then it's dinner instead of just the roundabout. Now, one of the great snacks that I personally love that are fantastic for families are protein balls. I make those with peanut butter, with the lean protein. I use vanilla. A lot of people like to use the chocolate and peanut butter because then it kind of tastes like a Reese's. And I add chocolate chips to it. Enjoy something, but those are dairy-free and allergen-free chocolate chips, which are fantastic. And so that's something sweet. It's a great treat. Sometimes I like to do it after dinner instead of eating the cookie cake that my husband brought home, or the ice cream, or the pie, because my husband likes to bring those things home. And it's up to me to have the willpower not to do it. So, and then last thing I just want to talk about kids is they understand so much more than we give them credit for. So it is so important to have conversations with them about what's going on. They kind of want to know, why are we home? My kids refer to it as the virus, and we talk about it very frankly and stress-free, because they feel our stress and they take it on themselves. They're very much a sponge like that. Our emotions they take on. If mommy and daddy are tense, our babies are tense. And then they're all out of whack and they don't know how to deal with it. They're too young to deal with it. Even high schoolers really don't know how to deal with that kind of stress that us as adults do. Heck, we don't even know how to deal with our stress. That's what Gabi's going to talk about in a minute. But so have those conversations with them. Be like, hey, are you bummed that we're at home this long? Like, hey, how are you doing? Are you sad about this virus? And help them process those things. Like, yeah, I know you totally miss your friends. I miss my friends too. Yeah. But just have those conversations with them and really just kind of sit down, take the screen away from you and them, and just have those conversations, because it really will help them just go, okay, they are listening. So anyways, I think my time is up, and I just want to throw it to Gabi, and she's going to talk to us about how we can help lower that stress and kind of help ourselves that way.
Thanks, Tori. You're an awesome mama. It really is important that we try to keep our stress and anxiety levels down as much as we can during this time and any time. I don't know if you know, but when you are really stressed out and have a lot of anxiety, it can actually compromise your immune system. So it's very important for us to have some tools in our toolbox to help that anxiety come down. And I know how hard it can be. So I'm going to actually share with you a little bit of my story, just so you know where I'm coming from, and maybe you can relate to me. If you do relate to me, go ahead and just comment. I love to see the chat, see some interaction. But I actually suffered from chronic migraines and chronic fatigue for a very long time, about 20 years. And that got significantly impacted and worse when I started experiencing extreme anxiety and depression. I wasn't sleeping. I couldn't think clearly. And being a mom, I have 2 little kids. Being a mom was really, really hard. Can any of you guys relate with that at all? When you're in chronic pain, it is very, very difficult to have a real smile on your face and to be able to really engage with your children, to engage with your friends, and to live the life that you want to live. And I will tell you, we entered into a season of high stress 3 years ago. And at that point, I started getting way more sick. And I think that's, what I'm talking about is when you're stressed out, you are much more prone to sickness. And I just got so sick to the point where I just didn't know if life was going to get any better. And I didn't see a way out. I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I didn't know how to cope. And finally, I reached out to Melissa, who's here on this call, who had been talking about some of these products. And I was like, do you think that this could help me? Because I was desperate. I had tried everything and I needed something. And she said, yeah, I do think it's going to help you. So she introduced me to these incredible gut health supplements that have completely changed my life. My immune system is better than ever, as is my family's. My kids are on the supplements and they haven't been sick like pretty much all year. They haven't been sick, which is phenomenal. But along the way, as I got better, I also learned some tips and tools along with the supplementation and taking care of my gut health and my immunity, some other tips and tools to help me with anxiety. And I could tell when all of this COVID-19 stuff started happening that I was starting to get very anxious again. I didn't know what was going to happen. My son, who has some special needs, he was going to be home from school. I was going to be homeschooling. And it was very, very stressful. And I could feel some of those anxiety symptoms and things come back on. But thankfully, I have had some great resources. I've been to counseling. I've done a lot of things to help me to be able to bring that anxiety down. And I just want to give you guys some very simple tools to help you bring your stress down, even in the moment when you start to feel that panic rise up. Because like Tori said, you need to do this not just for you, but for the atmosphere of your whole family. You know that mommy, like when mommy's not good, nobody's good. And if I'm stressed out, my kids are going to be stressed out, even if I'm faking it, faking that smile. So just some tips that I thought that I would give to you guys. One is so simple. We all know it, but sometimes we forget it in the moment. And that is just deep breathing. And one kind that I really, really like is it's actually called circular breathing. And you kind of just picture, I don't know why it's called circular because it's really a square, but you just picture like a square in front of you. You can even look at a picture frame or something and you take a deep breath in, looking at one side, you breathe out as you look over the top. You breathe in as you go down and you breathe out as you go down the bottom. And you just keep doing that. It helps all your senses come together, your left brain and your right brain, and makes everything just more grounded and more logical, and can help you reduce that stress that's in your body. So it's super simple, something you can do even if your kids are running around you in circles and screaming. You can take those deep breaths and do that circular breathing. Another thing you can do, some other grounding techniques, is you can try to find 4 things that you can see, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, 1 thing that you can touch, and just get in touch with your senses and like what is right now. And that brings the stress level down. It brings you into the moment. It stops your brain from going wild about all of the different scenarios that are making you anxious. So it just helps to ground you and calm your body. One of my very favorite things to do is just to speak truth. And that can be as simple as just like locking yourself in the bathroom for 5 minutes and saying, I'm taken care of, it's going to be okay. And something, I can't do it right now because I'm holding my phone in one hand, but you can cross your arms over your chest like this and just tap left, right, and just say something true like, God loves me, I'm taken care of, it's going to be okay, left, right. And it brings, actually, like, scientifically, it makes things process more in a linear fashion without your mind going crazy, and it can help you calm down. So I hope that that's helpful. Some other things that are good to just be aware of is like, what is it that feeds your soul? Make sure that you're taking time to do those things. For me, it's like reading, taking a walk. Yes, EMDR, that's exactly where I learned it, my friend. So for me, like, I make sure to read something that's not heavy before I go to bed at night. Sometimes it's like a Bible study, or sometimes it's just something fun and light. And something really, really important that I have found too is just having a safe place where you can talk, where you can vent, you can cry, you can have the feelings, you get them out of your system, you don't hold them in, you let it out, whether that's your mom, whether that's a counselor, whether that's a really safe friend, even if that's your pillow or just praying to the Lord. Like, get those feelings out, get them out of your system, don't suppress them. Get them out, and then you can move forward in a more peaceful way with your body able to reduce the anxiety, and you can move on with less of a risk of you getting sick, of you getting stressed out to the point where your immune system is compromised, and you can help process the feelings of your kids and all of that stuff. If that's helpful, if those things are helpful, just let me know in the chat. I would love to know. And I know that everyone processes differently. Maybe you journal, maybe you spend time meditating every day, maybe you need to take walks, but make sure you're taking care of you. You don't have to just take care of everybody else. It's very important that you take care of yourself. Put your oxygen mask on first, as they always say. So that is what I wanted to share with you, along with my story about these gut health supplements that changed everything for me, and have allowed my body to actually thrive, heal, function like it's supposed to. I am a completely different person than I was a year ago, and I'm so thankful that someone introduced me to these products that really completely changed my life. So I would love to now pass it on to the amazing Melissa, who we all adore, and she's going to give us some more wisdom and insight about our health, our bodies, our minds. And take it away, Melissa.
You're so awesome. Okay, so can I just share with you? I'm going to flip this over and go to see all of you so that I can see your faces. Yes, I'm Melissa Shaver. Was that not incredible? I think that the big thing for all of us, right? None of us have ever had to prepare for anything like COVID-19. None of us have lived through this. We don't have anyone that's 2 steps ahead of us that can kind of mentor us through it. And so we are all coming together as a community to really be able to share the importance of not only building up our immune system. That was one of the biggest areas that really came out so strongly through this pandemic, is the people that it's hitting the hardest are the people that have weaker immune systems. And so everyone started saying, what does that look like? What does that mean? What do I need to do? How do I prepare? That was number one. Number two was all those kiddos coming home, and we realized that we needed mental wellness as well. Amen. And so we've all kind of been drinking through a fire hydrant to really get ourselves to be able to say, I'm not only going to survive, but I'm going to thrive through this process. And I love the things that Tori and Gabi brought to the table to say, like, we had to figure these pieces out. This is the best thing that has helped to kind of settle in our families. I don't know if you guys are settled in yet, but my daughter and I were talking today. This marked our 5th week of being in what I call Q life, quarantine life with COVID-19. And so you probably have gone through some different things of kind of a process of grieving, right? Where you're like, okay, this is fine. I think I'm going to enjoy pulling back a little bit, to going through, I'm a little bit angry with you and you're kind of ticking me off. And the people I live with, I'm not sure why I made the choice to do that. And then you go into a surrender point of, okay, like I'm just needing to surrender to this. And so we really wanted to come to you tonight to really help you see the importance and what you can do right now to build up your immunity system, which also helps with your brain and mental wellness, but to also see what you can do futuristically, because this has become such a spotlight. It's not going to go away as far as realizing what our immune system does for us. So there's some things that we can do right now that if you're not doing it, I'd love for you to start tomorrow, tonight. And then there's some things that I want to talk about that's just long term. You can start it now, but it's something that you're going to continue to do. So for our family, it was probably about 6 years ago when we really found some things that started working on boosting our immune system, building our immune system, and keeping it strong. And I am probably like many of you, we've even heard a little bit of the stories here of just our kiddos, but we grew up thinking that we were a pretty healthy family. We were that normal American family of kids, you know, burning the candle at both ends that their parents taught them how to do. Amen. So whenever we get upset with our kiddos doing that, we have to realize that they're following our behavior pattern. But we ate the fast foods. We would have a lot of those sugars. But all in all, we were like, that's what everybody else does. But what we noticed so quickly is that we were in the doctor's office a lot. In the areas of the doctor's office, and you tell me if this is you or not, but we would always have chronic illnesses. For our family was strep, bronchitis, stomach flu, and it was just not year round, like once a year. It was usually at least once a quarter that we would kind of come down. As soon as we had kind of done it a little bit too much, we immediately would get sick with the kiddos. And so there came this realization that we needed to do a little bit of work in that area to see what's going on. And crazy enough, guys, this was only 6 years ago. So we're talking kiddos going into college for me, kiddos in high school, of kind of living this life and saying, we got to do some things a little bit differently. And we found some products that we're actually going to be talking about tonight that have been beneficial. But in learning that, I also learned what you literally can do right now if you have none of our products or any supplementation in your household right now. There's stuff that you can actually be doing right now that will boost your immune system. And I kind of want to talk about that. There's 5 things that you can do starting tonight. The first one is sleep. Sleep, literally, it releases a protein when we sleep. A protein is released. It's called cytokine is the name of it, and it actually targets inflammation and infection. Now, we've always heard that when you sleep, it literally allows restoration in your body. It allows healing to happen in your body, and that's exactly what we're talking about right here. For the majority of people, they do not get a good 8 hours sleep. And so that's going to be an area that you really want to be able to look at, because it's going to bring down inflammation. It's going to bring down infection. And so that's going to set you up. If you're waking up right now in the mornings already feeling like that you got no sleep and you're already exhausted, you probably aren't getting the amount of sleep that you need. One of the things that I did that was so good for me changing my lifestyle was having a nighttime routine. In that nighttime routine, we've heard even Gabi talk a little bit about reading before she goes to bed, but it's like getting away. Studies say, get away from your laptop, get away from your phone, any type of those tools that you have of being on the internet, having FaceTime on a screen, pulling back from that an hour before so your eyes can begin to relax, your body can kind of go into that motion. Many of y'all know that I have a brand new grandbaby. Every time I feed him, change his diaper, guess what? I wrap him up. He knows that when he gets wrapped up, it's a time to settle in, get still, get quiet. It's the same thing for us as adults. You need to have that night routine allows your body to begin to shut down, begin to go into rest mode, so that when you get into bed, you really can get the full 8 hours. Many of us, tell me if it's you, you go to bed, but you go to bed with the TV on. Your brain is still working. So you might go to bed at 10, but you really don't go to bed till midnight as far as sleep goes. And then that alarm goes off at 6, right? So just adjusting that a little bit is going to do great wonders for your immune system. The second thing, guys, is drink water. Now, if you've been with us for a while, you hear that over and over and over again about drinking half of your body weight in ounces of water. So if you weigh 140 pounds, you're going to want to drink 70 ounces of water. If you work out, you're going to want to drink a little bit more, because that working out is actually releasing more. And so this is a really, really big area, because studies show that when you're dehydrated, guess what? You weaken your immune system. And so to build that back up, a really great way to make sure that you are taking care of your body and that you're building it in a way that it can fight off infections, fight off diseases, different things like that, is to stay hydrated. One thing that I do, because so many people are like, 70 ounces is way too much. First of all, get something that is measurable, so that you know that if you have a 32-ounce glass or a Yeti or something like that, you drink 2 to 3 of those in a day. Get water bottles if that's good for you, and you drink 6 to 8. But one thing that I do that is really good for you, instead of when you wake up in the morning and you go straight for your coffee, wake up in the morning and go straight for an 8 to 12 ounce glass of water. My water is out. It's ready for me. You have literally dehydrated your body for the last 6 to 8 hours. So you need to rehydrate it first thing in the morning. It fills you up. It actually gets your system moving so that your bowel movement is working, all those wonderful things. It awakens your body to be able to get started in the day. The third thing is exercise. Exercise is a huge one for building your immune system and making your immune system stronger. It increases your antibodies and your white blood count. That fights off infection, guys. So it's really important. We're always talking about moving, and make sure you're outside walking or jumping rope, or once we get back in the gym, getting some sweat going. One really, really great exercise. Walking is always excellent, costs no money. But yoga, guys, yoga is a detoxer. You're literally detoxing your body as you do the yoga movements and go through the flows. There's some great ones on YouTube right now. So those are all free, but if you can get your bodies to start moving in that way, you're literally helping your body to be able to fight that infection. Another great thing about it is that when you sweat, you're releasing toxins from your body. It's flushing that out of your body. Let's see, fourth one that I want to talk about is proper nutrition. Now, this is a really big one, especially we're all home right now. This is one of the greatest areas I feel like that is going to be just this American Revolution for so many families, is that they're eating at home now, and they're seeing how good food is made at home without all of the extra additives. But a couple of things that I want to really share with you guys. And I want you to have, hopefully you remembered and you took note when Tori was talking about using the making protein balls and using those are treats. And so a lot of people use those for Reese's cups. We laughed about that earlier today when we were talking, because I called them Reese's. They're not Reese's, they're Reese's. But using them for that. Our lean protein shake is also good if you love almond joys like Mama here. You can use that, put it with coconut milk, add some almond butter to it. So there's ways that you can actually make your treats, but they end up having prebiotics in them and proteins in them, and it's things that are good for your body. It's good calories. So being able to do that. But a couple of things that I want you to understand is you need to have a lot of whole foods, lots of vegetables. If you do fruits, make sure that they're berries. Berries are going to be your best fruits because they have antioxidants in them. But some of the things with really high vitamin C, and right now vitamin C is a really big deal for really boosting your immune system, especially in the winter months. But red peppers, broccoli, kale, sweet potatoes. You really want to start adding that into your diet on a daily basis to really get that vitamin C up. Kind of pull down those refined starches, right? Those sugars. Alcohol, and everybody can love a good drink, but alcohol has a lot of sugar. So maybe limiting, if you have a glass of wine, maybe it's 2 nights a week, or maybe it's 1 glass a night. So really looking at that, because that actually lowers that immune system. So you want to make sure that you're doing things to boost your immune system. Another great thing is, guys, load up on garlic, turmeric, onions, ginger. All of those things are very high immune boosters and germ fighting nutrients. So start adding those kinds of things into your cooking. If you juice, I love to juice with the garlics and the turmerics and the gingers. So those are really good to be able to do that. And then lastly, I really want to talk just real quick about supplementation. And I kind of want you to hear a couple of things on this, because a lot of us, you may be one that prior to supplementing, you may have said this, and now maybe you've realized that supplementation is good, or you may still, be questioning all those pieces. And if so, I'm just thankful that you've been with me through this process. But I want you to kind of hear some statistics and kind of understand why supplementation is becoming such a big deal right now, and why we're going to kind of talk through the top 8 supplements that just is being said for boosting your immune system outside of our products, just what you need. I want to talk through that with you. But let me tell you why it's so important. 60, 70, 80 years ago, the soil that was used at that time is not the same soil that we have today. There's a lot of chemicals that are in our soils now. There's a lot of ways that they actually plant our plants, how they put things on them so that they have a longer shelf life. It's not apples to apples anymore as it was when our grandparents were raising up and eating from the land. We don't have the same land today. But this is what I want you to hear, because so many people say, you know what, Melissa, I eat pretty good. And so I really don't need anything else because it's all in my food. These are the stats that are out there. And a friend shared this with me today, and it's really eye-opening for me. So 94% of the United States population is deficient in vitamin D, 88% deficient in vitamin C, 66% deficient in E, 52% in magnesium, 44% of the United States population is deficient in calcium, and 43% in vitamin A. So if we think that we're getting it all in our system, and if we really thought about it outside of COVID-19 and having shelter in place, many of us are going through fast foods. We're missing meals. We're not getting the nutrients that we need. The majority of people do not get the amount of vegetables that actually all of this is in. And so understanding that. And the other piece that I want you to understand is that half of our population cannot even absorb nutrients or vitamins that they're taking. And that was really kind of where I was 6 years ago. I believed in supplementation, and I was taking it. My body wasn't absorbing it. And we're going to talk a little bit about that and what that looked like. So very quickly, I want to talk about 8 supplements that build and boost your immune system. So we've talked about how you can start boosting it immediately, things that you can do right now. And then as you build your immune system, I've been doing this for 6 years, so your immune system is going to get stronger and stronger and stronger to where you don't end up going to the doctors. You don't catch that virus. You don't get colds real quickly. If your body catches anything, you can get past it in 24 hours because your immune system is strong enough to fight it off. And that's where we all want to be, is to be able to be there. So let's just talk a little bit about this. These are the 8 top products, or top nutrients to be able to build. The first one is a multivitamin, and being able to take that is your generic. It's got your multivitamins. Some of them have minerals in it. It gets that, everything in it. If people are like, I need a C and a D and an E, and usually your multivitamin has it in there. But there is that 1/2 of the population that can't absorb, and that is a gene mutation. It's called MTHFR, and that basically says that your body cannot process anything that you're putting in, and it cannot remove the toxins. And so that's a really big piece for all of us to be able to understand. Now, if you buy a methylated vitamin, maybe you've heard that, a methylated vitamin, it's really important. But if you buy that, basically that methylation it's doing that work for you. So you have the ability to do it. Now we have 3 products, the X Factor, we have X Factor, X Factor Plus, and X Factor Kids, that all of our girls that we're talking tonight, their kiddos get this. But I was telling them today, I actually take this myself in the winter. Number one, I love them because they're like a sweetheart, but don't have the sugar. Gummies are super bad for your kiddos. So we talked about those sugars. The majority of families give their kiddos Flintstones, gummies, high sugar. Ours doesn't have them. So, but it's just an extra boost as well in the winter months. So all of those are methylated. They also have aloe in them. And guys, aloe is key. That was what was such a big deal for me, because aloe is a plant-based, and it's like God gave us a plant that said, this plant's going to heal you. And I love the aloe. I know for me, I always knew aloe on the outside, on your skin. You would use it sometimes for cuts, for burns, different things like that. Just think what it does when you actually take it and absorb it into your body. It actually allows your body to begin healing in the right way. It almost has like a zip code to it, to where it knows right where to go and how to target. But the thing is, whenever you take a multivitamin with aloe in it, the absorption rate goes up so high. But it not only goes up for the multivitamin, it also goes up for everything else that you're taking. So that is a really, really key area. Another thing that I want you to know from a methylation standpoint, so if you're one of those that's like, Melissa, that's me, I'm MTHFR. Our shakes are methylated, and so we have an energy drink called Active, and it's methylated. So those are as well. Super cool. The second one is vitamin D is very key, especially in the winter months, especially if you don't have sunshine. But vitamin D, the majority of people are, that is where they are deficient in that area. So boosting that, I would really say you probably would want to look at doing a testing or something. Some people need 1,000 IUs, some people need 5,000, but ours have the vitamin Ds in it. With that aloe, it's going to absorb really, really well. The third one is vitamin C. Everybody needs to be taking that in some manner. That supplementation is really good right now. And then these last ones that I really want to talk through with you are some of the ones that we have in our wellness combo. Probiotics are huge for boosting your immune system. You're hearing about that everywhere. You need to have that gut health. It's a really big area. And this is why, is because our gut is carrying all of the bacteria, and that gut is 80%, I believe it's 80% of our, 95%, no, that's serotonin, 80% of our immune system is in the gut, of being able to build there. We have 2 of those. So it's ProBio 5 and Vital Biome. I just want to tell you real quickly the difference with them. The ProBio 5 has your digestive enzyme in it, but it actually has an ingredient in it that breaks down the yeast and gets those toxins out of your system. The great thing about your Vital Biome, which we've heard Gabi talk a little bit about even tonight, is it really helps with mood. It brings down anxiety, it brings down stress, and it has incredible bacterial strands in it that are going to be used to fight off infection. So both of those are a really big deal. The other thing that I want you to hear that is in the top 8 for building immune system is turmeric. Have you heard of that? We talked about starting to put it into your foods. But it is an anti-inflammatory, and it's also an antiviral. So turmeric is a really big deal right now. It's in our E's. So our E's is an anti-inflammatory, antiviral. So that is a really big one. Another one that I just want you to hear about that they're really saying is a really big area of building that immune system is controlling your cortisol. Now your cortisol, that's that stress hormone. We heard Gabi talk a little bit about, even with COVID-19 coming and kiddos coming home, and what does that look? She felt that stress go up. She told us some different things that she could do from a mental health standpoint, and I love the things that she shared with us in that. One of the things that we have for that is actually our Active that I told you is methylated energy shake. It actually helps boost your oxidative stress and brings that down. So it's a really big one to be able to do that. And then we talked a little bit already about the X factor. The last one that I want to tell you about that is a high increase that most Americans are deficient in, and we're needing it for boosting our immune system, is magnesium. And so for us, our magnesium is actually in our BioCleanse. Magnesium is a really big one, guys, for oxygenating your system. So oxygenating is a really big area in regards to disease, in regards to cancer cells, different things like that. It gets your system working correctly. And so those are kind of our areas. We have a wellness package that I think Gabi's going to share a little bit more. I'm going to hand it back over to her. But those are the ones. The last one I just realized that I didn't tell you, because I told you I had 8. I think I've gone through 7. The last one is omegas. Omegas are a huge one for boosting immune system. Our omega is called Mega X. It's actually from a plant. All of our supplements are plant-based. So it's from the ahi flower. It's the oils of the ahi flower. It's not a fish. And so that's a really big area. It helps with your sleep, which is going to help with boosting your immune system. So I ran through those super, super quick. I hope that that's good for you to understand what you can do right now, and then the ways that you can supplement to make sure that your body and your family is guarded from diseases, from viruses, and things like that. And with that, I'm going to hand it back over to Miss Gabi.
Thank you, Melissa. Appreciate you. Super good info. And I know that we probably all thought of something that we need to do better. I know I did. So let's definitely take something away from this that we can implement right away, hopefully. And I just want to tell you, like, these supplements, like I said, they have totally changed my life. They've changed Tori's life. They've changed Melissa's life. And so many people are needing these right now. In fact, we're seeing an increase, a significant increase in sales this month because people need these and they know it. They realize, like, my body is not where it needs to be, and I need something really stellar to put inside my body to boost my health. And so, like Melissa said, we're actually offering this amazing wellness pack right now that has several of the things that she mentioned. The methylated multivitamin, which is very highly bioavailable vitamins and minerals, which basically means it's going to get into your system and it's going to make you healthy. I have some things here. It has our ProBio 5, which is that 5-strain probiotic that will really get all of the healthy bacteria in your gut that you need. It's going to kill off toxins like yeast and fungus. It has our, let me see, Vital Biome, which is the stress relief probiotic that she talked about. And it has Ease, which is right here, that amazing anti-inflammatory, which Melissa mentioned, that inflammation contributes so much to health issues. So usually the 4 of those together, I think, would be like around $140. But right now, you not only get all 4 of those, you also get a year-long membership to get the lowest price on any supplements, totally customizable. For a year you get a membership, and all of those 4 supplements and the membership for $99 right now, which is like a crazy deal. And our company is offering that because they know that people need this right now. The generosity and heart of our company is really serving others. If you're blessed, be a blessing. That's what they always say. And so we're so thrilled to be able to offer this amazing immunity boost pack. You can get it in the mail in a few days and know that you're doing something really great for your body. And you're doing what you can to help boost your immunity and your wellness and even keep your stress down right now. And the other thing is, guys, I don't know how many of you have been laid off or who have had your hours cut back. It's a very, very trying time financially right now. And so we don't just want to come on here and say, hey, this is only $99. We also want to tell you, hey, we have a way for you to not only be able to get your supplements for free, but hopefully get some more extra money in your pockets to help your family through this season. Our company, Plexus, has offered this amazing $6 million stimulus plan. And basically what they're wanting to do is get at least $600 into 10,000 people's hands ASAP. And I don't know about you, but I think most people right now can use that extra money to get them over this hump of uncertainty, unknowns. And honestly, there's something in this for everyone, whether you just want to get through this month, be able to pay your electricity or your mortgage, or whether you decide, hey, I really enjoy this, I'd love to make this a career. There's a place for everyone, every personality, and we have help for you every step of the way. So if you just refer 3 friends right now, when you sign up for that $10 membership and get a welcome pack, you can actually make $320 just by signing up with 3 friends. And we can help you do that today, tomorrow, over the next week. If you sign 6 people, you can make over $600. And that is extraordinary. And it's really so simple, especially when you have this team and this community around you to help you out. So if that's something you're interested in, please let us know. Also, if you want to talk about any of our products, we have all of these immunity supplements that we've talked about. We have amazing weight loss supplements that help you with healthy weight loss. It's good stuff for your body, plant-based, and we have really cool facial products too. And I don't know about you, but I love taking care of my face and putting on makeup and doing my hair for part of my self-care. So we even have like these $20 beauty boxes where you can give yourself a little spa weekend. It's kind of like getting a $100 facial for $20, and you can do it at home. So if you're interested in any of those things, I hope that you will reach out to whoever invited you today and ask them to get you some more info, and hopefully they'll be reaching out to you as well. And we'd love to connect with you about the products, about the opportunity to help you with the stimulus package. And I know we're probably running out of time, but I wanted to just see if anyone had any questions at all. We are open books, and we would be happy to help you out if you have any questions right now. So if you have a question, just unmute yourself and feel free to ask.